Welcome to Solo Shot First, and today we're going to be having a look at the ARC Trooper Captain from the 50th anniversary line of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Now, got to say, obviously, again, this is a nice looking card back. This is obviously from the Clone Wars itself, so it's just an artist impression, obviously, of the figure. But it does look very, very nice. It comes obviously on it's got a sort of, I suppose it's a cross between a yellow and an orange. I'd probably class that really as a yellow name pill and the yellow background, which makes the figure stand out really, really nicely. You've got the Kenner logo in that bottom right-hand corner. And actually what they've done with this one is put the warning sticker on there as well, which is, I suppose, a bit of a shame, but that's quite simply because normally that would be in the top right-hand corner where they've got the 4+ age group to accommodate for the 50th anniversary logo. I'm not the biggest fan of that logo in terms of would have preferred it on the back, but it doesn't take anything away from this. Now, being part of obviously sort of slightly older waves, if you like, this comes on the thinner cardstock. But again, I've had this in a box, so it's held out pretty well. And I've got to say, the figure looks quite impressive. Again, if you like your clones, then you're going to like this. So, it is a nice looking card back. The figure does look very impressive. This one obviously comes with just what appears to be a couple of blasters. But let's have a quick look at the back of the card. So this is VC213. You've got the lovely Star Wars racetrack with the Vintage Collection logo in and some nice images there of the ARC Trooper Captain. And obviously a number of different clones there in the background. The nice bit of these cards, which I think I've mentioned previously, is, you do obviously have that 50th anniversary, the Lucasfilm logo, and it does obviously talk you right through from the Lucasfilm conception back in 1971. But obviously then here, all of the sort of the Star Wars films and series and everything else that we've had in that line. So that's a nice touch. And then obviously you've got that legal information at the bottom. So VC213. So just coming back to the front, I think the figure inside is pretty much a repack of the Vintage Collection expanded universe figure, the ARC Trooper Commander or Captain Fordo, which was VC54. And I do actually have that open and loose, so we will bring that in a little bit later to sort of put that alongside and have a look. But I mean, I think they're pretty much an exact copy of the figure. I think the major difference that you do get with the VC54 or Captain Fordo is he does obviously come with a couple more accessories. But nice looking card back. If you want your clones, or you like your clones, sorry, I should say, you're going to want to get this figure. So let's get him out of the packaging and have a look. Okay, so here we've got the figure out of the packaging. I've just got it on the spinner so you can have a look at it as it rotates very, very slowly. But some nice detailing on it. I mean, obviously, it does come with this really nice soft goods. I suppose it's a cape, really, but obviously sort of sits around the waist, just under his holster, which obviously holds the two pistols. The colouring on it's really, really nice. Obviously, you've got the sort of red on the on his hands or on his gloves, if you want to call them that. On the forearms, obviously on the armour, around the elbows. And obviously on the shoulders there, as you can see. And also a nice fact there with that, I suppose, the pauldron, which is hard goods, which obviously just does move around a little bit. But I suppose it has to be really just because the nature of the look of the actual figure itself. So a really nice looking figure. That rangefinder on his helmet, it does not move, which is a bit of a shame, but no massive issue. So let's get this figure off of that spinner to have a look at it in a bit more detail. Okay, so here we've got the figure off the spinner, and you can make your own minds up really in terms of the colouring. I think it's got some really nice detailing on there, and as I said, if you like your clones, then you're going to want this Captain absolutely. In terms of the articulation, I won't concentrate on that too much. You know this all by now. Articulation in the head, articulation at the shoulders, elbows at the wrists. It doesn't have the hinge wrist, but it's an older figure. You've got articulation at the hips, but not the butterfly hinge. You've got articulation at the knees and at the ankles. and no rocker, but it's not going to have that. As I said, this is an older figure and an older sculpt, but some really nice colouring. In terms of the accessories that come with this figure, you just get two of these, basically, two of these blasters. No real detailing on them. Nice matte black, but quite a sturdy plastic, which is quite nice. So yeah, and obviously this figure does have the removable helmet. We can get that off. Gosh, there we go. So nice looking detail on the head sculpt. There's not really too much more to say about that. So let's bring in the VC. I'll pop the helmet back on, and I'll just bring in the VC54, which is this one. And actually, other than the colouring, you know, there is a little bit of difference there. I think if you can see from the sides, slightly different paint applications, but not huge. From the front on, they're pretty much exact. Whoops, sorry, I've got one on the stand and one not. So the one on the right here is the VC54 expanded universe one. The major major difference that you do obviously get with that figure, I'm just going to pop it in sight so you can see there. Again, comes just with the two blasters I've got in the holster, but he does actually have this swappable helmet, which is quite nice. Whoops, sorry about that. And that VC54 also came with this swappable pauldron stroke bandolier stroke holster. So you can swap that over on those and swap the head. So essentially you could make those two I'd say completely different, but you know what I mean. You can, if you swap that helmet over, then you've got a different looking clone, which is also a nice touch. The one thing that I would say that, you know, comparing them just ever so slightly on this one, on this newer one, on the VC213, that colouring, if I just bring that back in quickly, sorry, of the painting, of the paint apps, it's just a little bit brighter, really. And there are some actually differences there, sorry, just on the head. Looking at that head sculpt, obviously the VC213, you've got a little bit more of the red colouring on the helmet, as opposed to the one on the right, the VC54, has just got a bit more, the red lines are much thinner, but other than that, the colours are pretty similar, other than obviously the VC213 having a much sort of brighter red in terms of the colouring on his armour. But it was just a quick review of this figure and a quick comparison between the expanded universe one. I mean, basically it's the same mould, just painted ever so slightly differently. Anyway, if you like your clones, you're going to want to pick this up. Again, it's a lovely looking figure, so well worth getting if you do enjoy your clones, and even good for army building. You know, you could have more than one of these. It doesn't have to be just the one, does it? So at the end of the day, it's entirely up to you. But I would recommend this figure, picking it up, especially if you like the clones. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit the like button. If you want to subscribe, there'll be more videos coming shortly. If you've got any questions or any comments, please leave them in the comments section below, and I'll come back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.